Prologue, The Mirror and the Ghost. In a dim locker room beneath Anaheim's Honda Center, Jake Paul sat alone. The walls hummed faintly with the roar of an audience above, yet in this moment, all was still. Across from him hung a mirror. It did what all mirrors do, it reflected a face. But this one didn't just show Jake Paul the fighter. It showed Jake Paul the doubted, the ridiculed, the laughed at. YouTube prankster. Brother of Logan. Not a real boxer. This mirror had haunted him for years. But tonight, that mirror would become a window. Because on the other side stood Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., the son of a titan, the bearer of a famous name, and a fighter whose shadow never quite matched his father's flame. And tonight, Jake wasn't just fighting Chavez Jr. He was fighting legacy, doubt, and the ghost of who he used to be. Chapter 1, The Drumbeat of Belief. The arena was packed. You could feel it in your teeth, the crowd's vibration. In one corner, Chavez Jr. Calm, collected, face unreadable, his father's name a heavy cloak on his shoulders. In the other, Jake Paul, bouncing on his toes, jaw set, fists twitching like a gunslinger before a duel. He wore red gloves and pure focus. The bell rang. Jake charged like a storm that had waited too long to thunder. He was sharp, shockingly sharp. The jab landed like a needle, fast and precise. He moved like someone no longer pretending to be a boxer. He was one. Chavez Jr., perhaps too relaxed, offered little in return. The early rounds belonged to Paul, each one stacking up like bricks in a wall the older fighter would have to climb. The crowd murmured, half disbelief, half reluctant admiration. Chapter 2, Fire from the Past. By round 6, something changed. Chavez Jr. stirred. A flicker of the old champion sparked in his eyes. He began to press forward, cornering Paul, launching combinations with venom. For a few breathless minutes, the clock reversed. He wasn't the aging son of a legend. He was a champion again. He clipped Paul with a hook. The crowd gasped. Paul stumbled, caught himself. But then, something unexpected happened. Jake grinned. Blood trickled from his lip as he nodded, beckoning Chavez to come forward. This wasn't fear, it was invitation. He'd tasted power, and instead of folding, he rose. The problem child had become something else entirely, a man with purpose. Chapter 3, Dancing with Ghosts. The fight wore on. Round 7, 8, 9. Paul's early dominance was being tested, but he never broke. He adjusted, moved, calculated. Chavez swung with desperation. Jake, breathing heavy, kept landing clean shots, body shots that shook ribs, overhands that told judges, I am still here. The 10th and final round arrived like the last scene in a play. And Jake Paul, tired and bruised, found one last gear. He circled Chavez, launched a final combo, then raised his arms before the bell even rang. He knew. No need to hear the scorecards, his fists had done the talking. The bell tolled. The crowd erupted. Not just in cheers, but in confusion. This wasn't how the story was supposed to end. The influencer was supposed to fall short. He was supposed to crumble under real pressure. But tonight, under the lights of Anaheim, Jake Paul rewrote the script. Chapter 4, The Verdict of Men. The judges' voices cracked through the mic. 9991. 9892. 9793. Winner by unanimous decision, Jake, the problem child, Paul. And yet, boos rained down. He didn't flinch. All the boos, he said later, are awards. They mean I've done something they didn't expect. He turned to the camera, sweat glistening, and declared his ambition, world title next. I want Zerto. I want Tank. I want the top. He wasn't here to play the villain anymore. He was here to wear the crown. Chapter 5, A Fighter Reborn. In the weeks that followed, the world kept debating. Piers Morgan mocked the fight as a snooze fest. Boxing purists grumbled. But others, coaches, analysts, even past champions, began whispering, he's real now. Not elite. Not yet. But real. Chavez Jr. would say in the locker room, he's strong early. Better than I thought. He earned it. There was no bitterness in his voice, only recognition. Back in his locker room, Jake Paul stood again before the mirror. This time, the reflection was different. He no longer saw a content creator. He saw a contender. Epilogue, the price of belief. There's a cost to chasing impossible dreams. It isn't just sweat and blood, it's ridicule, isolation, and risk. Jake Paul paid it in full. He walked through fire most fighters wouldn't dare, because he chose the spotlight before he earned the stripes. But under those 10 rounds in June 2025, something changed. He stopped chasing validation. He started chasing greatness. And the boxing world, whether they like it or not, can no longer look away. Balance scale, the doubted have one job, keep proving them wrong. Jake Paul.